Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sara Lubratt, and today's writing vlog is going to be a little bit centered around self-care and a little bit just trying to get my routine back on track after a couple days off of it. But if you go on to enjoy this video, I would really appreciate it if you could give it a big thumbs up. And now without further ado, let's get into this video. Today is January 24th. I have not had a great couple of days and I would really like to change that today. So I'm going to be prioritizing things that matter to me, kind of like a self-care day, but also working on making my routine what I want my routine to be. So I've already done the majority of the work that I need to do today. I will probably need to check in again later, but I think I'm pretty good for now. So what I'm going to move on to next is making breakfast. For breakfast, I made a smoothie bowl, which is just some frozen berries blended with some almond milk, a banana, and some maple almond butter, and then topped with coconut flakes, cacao nibs, granola, and some more almond butter, and I'm gonna put some banana on top of it as well. I just finished eating breakfast. I've had a pretty good start to my day so far. However, before I start working on draft 5 again, the reread of draft 4 in preparation for draft 5, I still need to figure out if there's a better way for me to put that. But before I start working on rereading again, I want to do some journaling and write down some things that I'm grateful for, because I haven't done that in a while, and that just feels like that's going to be really helpful for me today. So I'm going to take a few minutes to do that, and then I'm going to need to figure out if I want to stay here to work on the reread of draft 4 or if I want to go somewhere else, because I don't really want to sit in my apartment right now. I really don't. That could mean any number of things, and I'm just not entirely sure what that means yet. So I will figure that out when the time comes. But first, I'm going to start with some gratitude journaling. I instantly feel more calm after doing that. That was a very powerful experience that I haven't done recently. It used to be a very big priority of mine to make sure that I always wrote out what I was grateful for in the mornings, but I've really fallen out of practice with that. But after this experience, I might have to start incorporating that again, because that made me feel like a very calm and very at peace, which was nice. I have a couple things I want to do today, including but not limited to doing some reading, doing some more work on rereading of draft 4, and then I want to do some hiking and maybe watch the sunset tonight, but I still have like 3 hours until the sun sets. So right now, I'm just gonna take a moment to water my plants that I have hanging in my living room. I included them in a vlog a little while ago, and I said that I was worried that they might not make it, and I never followed that up. And so I apologize to the commenters that were asking if they were still okay. The plants are doing well, but I'm going to spritz them with some water just to keep them nice and happy. They hang out above my couch next to this mirror that I use to bring in light from outside and to sometimes see the mountains. I ordered my mounted staghorn ferns from a website called Verdant Life, and I'm actually really impressed with how they're doing, so I'm gonna leave a link to that website down below if you're interested in checking it out. I'm very impressed, and I'm very happy that I ordered these plants. And they're just so cute, and they bring some life to my space. Okay, let's go watch the sunset. I will work on draft 5 later. Mainly saying that because I procrastinated earlier and was waiting for somebody to call me and I never got that call. So kind of ran out of time before the sunset's gonna happen. So I put on my beanie and we're gonna go for a hike. This looks like a Bob Ross painting, except without the fence. I came back from my hike a little while ago, and even though Salt Lake City is currently going through an inversion, which means that we have really bad air quality here in the valley, it did make for a really pretty sunset, and so my lungs didn't love it on the way up, but at least the sunset was really pretty. And it also started snowing when I was up at the top of my hike, and that was really fun. And that felt really good just to get outside for a while. And then I ran to the grocery store and came back, and I made myself some vegan black bean fajitas that were delicious. And then I did some procrastinating by watching some cooking shows and just YouTube food videos, because those are like a comfort thing for me. And now it's 10 p.m. So even though I have not worked on draft 4 yet today, like I was hoping to start earlier, I am going to sit down and do some work on that now. I ended up working on rereading for about 30 minutes, and then I took a snack break and watched some more cooking shows, and now it's 11:50 p.m. I'm gonna attempt to do another 30 or so minutes before I go to bed. I have felt better today so far, and I'll talk more about this in a little bit. I have felt better today. I think that going on that hike and watching the sunset really helped me tap back into doing some things that I love. However, I do want to put more of an emphasis on that in the upcoming days, which I think I will be able to. I think today was kind of like a good intermediate step. I hope that word was right. But anyways, for right now, let's do another 30 minutes of rereading. Another half hour done, meaning that I got a solid chunk of work done tonight. Also, side note for those of you that watch my vlogs, but these are new. I hung them up last night. I really like them. They're cute little national parks posters of the ones that I've been to, and then as I continue to go to more, I will continue adding posters to this section of my wall, and I'm really excited about growing that collection. But back to writing for a second. I did find myself still highlighting at portions that will need to be either pared down because they're repetitive or something, or portions that will need me to look back at because there are things that will need more attention. But I do think that overall tonight my notes were primarily on things that I can just tighten in the story, pretty much just boil down a little bit and make it a little bit more clear and concise. And I also kind of had the thought that I should have done this in draft 2 or draft 3. And I believe I tried to do this with draft 2 with what I knew at that point in time. But taking Brandon Sanderson's creative writing class really showed me a lot of very clear ways to improve my story, which is what I'm trying to work on in the reread of draft 4, making notes on that for then applying it in draft 5. So I do wish that I would have known this earlier, but I'm also happy that I know this now so that I don't have to go however many more drafts before actually getting to this stuff, which I think is really going to be helpful. I think that tomorrow it will be helpful if I'm active again and if I get started on draft 5 earlier than I did today, aka 10 p.m. And if I see a friend or have a writing session with one of my writing friends online or something. I think that those are going to be my 3 primary goals for tomorrow. And I think that those are all very achievable. I just have to, actually put the effort into doing them, which is completely fair. But I would say that overall, my day was pretty good. It got better. I'm definitely hopeful that it broke me out of a little bit of the funk that I've been having the past couple of days. And I think that I was able to do some really good work in the reread of draft 4 tonight, although in an hour and 5 minutes of working on it is really solid, but I, would like to do more than that in a day, but I'm gonna call it there for tonight and just try to have more intentionality with it tomorrow. Okay, I do wanna do some math really quick before I go to bed, and I'm sure it's gonna be math that I don't like. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. If I wanna finish the reread of draft 4 before the end of January, which gives me a week, how many chapters does that mean that I have to do a day? Okay, let's do this. I have a lot of very short chapters, which is one of the things that I need to work on in draft 5 is condensing them and making them longer chapters by basically just blending chapters together in a better way than they are currently split up. And I'm not looking forward to doing this math to see how many chapters I should be doing a day in order to finish the reread in the next 7 days. Oh, I already don't like the answer. No. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, so something that I discovered when I was counting chapters, I don't know, in draft 3 or something, was that I probably have somewhere between 90 and 100 chapters. It's not necessary. That is really something that I need to clean up and I will be working on. But I only just finished chapter 15 tonight, which means that I have, let's say 85 more chapters to do. If I want to finish 85 more chapters in the next 7 days, that means that I have to do about 12 chapters a day. That is daunting. It's honestly not that bad if you think about how short some of the chapters are, but I think that today I did 3 chapters. Today I did 3 chapters. A couple days ago I did 4 chapters, and then another day with 4 chapters, another day with 3 chapters, and one day with 2 chapters. So basically I think I just need to dedicate more time to this. So if I split it up and I start early and I go for like an hour or so, and then I do some in the afternoon and then I do some in the evening, and I could get somewhere between 2 to 3 hours, that could be very promising in making progress on this. Because what I've been doing is like roughly an hour or less. So if I could triple that, then I might actually be able to do that. Okay. Okay. So on that note, now I guess I'm going to bed. Or maybe not, because I have one more comment. I think that putting a lot of emphasis into my writing the next couple of days will make me feel better and will hopefully pull me out of this funk. I will be very careful not to burn myself out, but I do think that making it a priority is going to vastly improve my mental state, and so that is something that I'm going to have to keep in mind. And now it's time to go to bed. Alright, well, good afternoon, I guess. I started my morning off doing the work that I needed to do today, and then I was able to do about 30 minutes of rereading draft 4, and I was able to get like multiple chapters done, and that just goes to show how short a couple of those chapters were. But I had some really good ideas on how I can basically dissolve those really, really short chapters and reincorporate the gist of them into other chapters from that same character's POV. So very helpful, I think. That'll just take some reworking to actually apply. But now I'm at the gym. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go do my active thing. And then I'm going to go back and do some more rereading, hopefully as soon as I'm done at the gym. So when I got back from working out, I made myself a snack, and then I did 2 more half-hour sessions of working on the reread of Project DE, and then I made myself some dinner, and my headspace kind of started to go negative again, and I wanted to get out of that rut as quickly as possible. So I went to go shoot some pool by myself, and it felt like the more I played, the worse I got, because out of my first 5 or 6 shots, I got 4 of them in immediately, and then when I only had like 2 or 3 balls left on the table, I couldn't hit them in to save my life, and that was really frustrating, but it was helpful to get out of my apartment and go do that. So then once I was starting to feel a little bit better because of that, I came back and I had been wanting to watch the new Disney movie called Encanto, and I hadn't done that yet, and so I sat down on the couch and I watched that movie, and oh my gosh, it was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I was expecting, because every time I watch one of the new like Pixar Disney movies, they're always so good, but I always go in really skeptical. I think I'm worried that they're not going to be as good as the movies that I grew up with. But Encanto was amazing, and now it's 1:15 a.m. So I am ending today with an hour and a half of work done on the reread of Draft 4. And no, this was not necessarily as long as I was hoping to spend today, because I didn't quite hit that 2 to 3 hour mark, but 1.5 hours is more than I've done with rereading Draft 4 so far. And I managed to reread 6 chapters, which is half of my goal in order to finish by the end of January, but I don't have to finish by the end of January. That was just a thought to give myself some kind of goal, but I really liked the amount of stuff that I got done today. I felt mostly productive, except for my weird mental state after the sunset, and I'm kind of wondering if seasonal affective disorder is starting to come into this because it's winter and the nights are longer. But overall, I think it was a really good day. Overall, I think I got some great rereading done and some good note-taking done. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but with some of the shorter chapters that I read today, I figured out which other chapters I could dissolve those ones into to make them more substantive and not so short. But like I said, it is 1:15 in the morning, so I'm gonna go to bed, but I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, well, good afternoon. Today is January 26th. I have already finished my work that I need to do today. I had an appointment and then I just got back from working out, and now I'm about to jump on a call with my friend Brooke from the channel Brooke Writes to do a little writing session with her, which is gonna be so much fun and is going to help me work towards my goal of rereading draft 4 today. And then later tonight, I'm going to be going to a comedy club. So I think today is going to be a really good day. Off to a really good start. I did definitely sleep in this morning, but it was really, really nice. But here we are, and now I'm going to start my rereading today for draft 4 on this call with Brooke. Okay, well, I just got off the phone with Brooke, and we ended up not writing at all. It was really good to catch up with her, but I have not yet started my reread for tonight. And so now I'm on my way out the door to go to the comedy show. So let's go do that. I got back from the comedy show, which was an open mic night, a little bit ago, and now I've been working on rereading for a little bit, but I just got to a chapter that I freaking love, and I just recognized it by like the first paragraph, and I'm so excited to read it, and I just needed to tell you guys that because I'm really excited, but I'm also really nervous. I don't think it'll need that much help, but I might need to figure out on how to better incorporate it because it is kind of out there and I need to figure out if it still works or not, but I really like it, and so I'm gonna enjoy reading this. Okay, interesting. I just finished reading the chapter that I was really excited about. I didn't love how I have it currently tied into this story, but I came up with an idea of how I can better tie it into this story when I start draft 5, or at least when I get to this point in draft 5. And so that was helpful, and I took note of it. It's in my notebook. It's always really fun to get back to a chapter that you remember that you like loved writing. And this is one that when I came up with it, I like just freaking loved it. There are several in this draft and I've only gotten to a couple that I like remember really clearly. This is one of them. And I'm really happy that I came up with a good enough way to tie it back into the story that means that it will stay in the story, at least for now. And so I'm very happy with that epiphany. I just finished up my rereading session. I went for about an hour this evening, and now it's past midnight, so it is nearing the time that I need to go to bed. But I am happy with the amount that I was able to get done tonight. And based on the information from tonight and working for about an hour on 4 chapters and yesterday working for about an hour and a half on 6 chapters, it does certainly seem that with the average length of my chapters that it would take me about 3 hours a day in order to hit about 12 chapters a day. However, that goal was to then get me to the finish line of rereading draft 4 to start draft 5 by the end of January. And that was just kind of an arbitrary goal because I didn't have one in mind. And it's not necessary, but it would be really cool to start February and then start draft 5 technically in February. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. That would be a lot of work considering that I have not hit those numbers in the past couple days. But I think the important part is that I am proud of what I have accomplished. And just a friendly reminder to myself and everyone else out there is that progress is progress. And I am moving forward and I am making progress, however slow or fast that might be. I am making progress, and that's what matters. I am feeling much better today than I have been the past couple of days. I think that getting out of my apartment to both go work out and to go to the comedy show tonight and to get to talk to Brooke for a while, I think it was just an overall very positive day. And I got some writing done and I did my work. You know what it is? I feel like I was able to accomplish so much today, and that just feels really, really nice. And maybe it's just because I haven't had a day recently where I feel like I've accomplished a lot. And so hopefully that is something that I can kind of remind myself, like, oh yeah, this feels really good. And obviously there are days where I will not want to do this much, but today it felt really, really nice. And I was happy that I was able to lean into that. That being said, this is a friendly reminder to be nice to yourself and to remember that progress is progress. If you have any tips that you would want to share on how to get out of a rut, feel free to share them down in the comments below. I read all of my
comments, so I will be looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Selfishly, yes, but that could also help someone else in the comments. If this is somehow the first video that you are finding of mine and you want to see more like it, most of them are a little bit more cheery, but I am posting videos mostly twice a week, on Mondays mostly and Thursdays mostly. So make sure that you hit that big red subscribe button. I'm Sara Lubratt. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.